started my athletics career quite young, age of 12, from school. Our family, I'm council girl, council girl kids, and wasn't very academic at school, I have to say. But sport was something that put me on a level playing field with other people. And it was my PE teacher, Debbie Page, who's still the PE teacher at the same school. I tell you, she must be a saint. But she was the person that told me I could be good at something, you know, a real person that was a motivator, inspiring, and looked at me as an individual, a young girl that had a talent and said, you know, if you use it, you could be good. So she sent me off to an athletics club when I was 14 years old. And, oh actually, sorry, no, when I was 12 years old, and my mum actually dropped me off, said, you better stick at this one. Should I bring to everything and ask to put it down if you want to? And that was about it. So, and then, you know, my journey was there, but I think for me it was finding that talent that gave me, like I say, the level playing field to believe I could be good at something as a young person, because when I sat in the classroom, you know, it just went over my head and I just felt like ridiculously stupid, you know, I really did. So actually when I was out playing sport or running, I felt free and felt like, you know, I'm good. And it made me feel good and want to then be better myself.
And so was it that one person, your PE teacher, who really was the one, I mean, do you think if it wasn't for her you might not have realised just how good you could be?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sometimes in life it is one person that looks at you and says it, you know, and you can't underestimate how that one word that you say to someone, you might think it in your head, but if you actually say it to that person, they might remember it forever. You know, so now if I meet people, or especially young people, and I'd give them encouragement, you know, because you never know that might change their life.
And you didn't come from a well-off background, you said, so how did you, you know, in terms of going round and travelling and competing and so on, was it quite difficult to do that and to really realise your potential?
Yeah, I mean, there was no funding and things when I was younger, of course. So when I was really young, you know, to be able to go off places like clean windows, clean and wash cars, I loved it. You know, give me $5 back and then. Can you imagine $5 in the 70s? It's like, wow. So, you know, I'd do that. You know, I was fortunate that, you know, my mum or my nan and granddad would drive me to places, but generally it was my coach. My coach used to work for Unigate, so he used to take me off places. So again, it's he was in management, which was good. But you know, sometimes again, so once I met my coach when I was 14, he then became the next person that encouraged me, and you know, he'd give up his time to coach me, and you know, he had his own family, but of course he's coaching me Monday to Friday, you know, and a Sunday morning, and he was the one that took me and drove me off to places. So again, it's just people that you meet, I think, sometimes in life that give you that opportunity and that break. And you know, if it hadn't been for him, I probably wouldn't have gone to as many races as I did and then become the junior international athlete that I was.
When did you realise, a lot of us have ambitions when we were at school because we win the odd race or whatever, when did you realise that, you know what, I can't just be a good athlete, I can be a great one, a world-class one? Was there a moment when you realised I can do this?
Well, 6 months after starting at that athletics club, when I was 12 years old, I became All England champion for schools, which is the biggest school national competition that there is. So I remember standing on that rostrum, thinking I was pretty good there. Then I watched the Olympic Games when I was 14 years old. Sebastian Coe. I'm a Coe or no vet fan. Yeah. Any Ovet fans, don't worry about it. Coe was definitely my favourite, you know, just determined, aggressive, you know, that was kind of me running down on the track. So I watched those Olympic Games, gave me goosebumps, and I absolutely said, it was in school holidays, I remember watching it at home, and I thought to myself, that's what I want to do, because it gave me those goosebumps, that high kind of passion, and seeing him standing on the rostrum, you know, British flag flying and national anthem being played. Like, so I went back into school and I said to my best friend, Kerry, I'm going to be Olympic champion. I mean, my best friend, she's still my best friend to this day. I said, I'm going to be Olympic champion. And she said, yeah, I know, you are. And that was it. I absolutely set my dreams.
At the age of
14.